ES Audio.
From the Evening Standard in London, I'm David Marsland, and this is the Leader Weekends. Every Saturday, we bring you a bonus episode of our business podcast, How to Be a CEO. This is a cut-down version, so hit the link in the show notes to hear the full thing, or search your podcast provider for How to Be a CEO. There are new episodes every Monday morning. Charlie Mullins. He's one of Britain's best known and most successful businessmen. He founded Pimlico Plumbers in 1979, turned it into a £50 million a year trade empire, then sold it last year for £140 million.
You know, it's a lot of money. I remember my lawyer ringing me up one morning and said, you know, the money's in your account kind of thing. And, it takes a lot of sort of believing, and then, you know, you start thinking, bloody hell, I wasn't expecting this.
So what do you do after that? I mean, I'd take a really long holiday, but someone who leaves school at 15 and starts their own business in an estate agent's basement isn't really the vacationing type.
It's something that's still in me that I can do. Obviously, I don't want to be working all day and every day, and I want to enjoy what I've got. But we didn't realise how right we had it until we come away from it.
I'm David Marsland from the Evening Standard. Charlie will be appearing at our SME Expo, which is being held at the XL London on April 25th and 26th. He's doing an Ask Me Anything session. But when we meet him at the Evening Standard's offices, I want to ask him, having done all that and worked so much, isn't it time to relax?
Yeah, no, it's far from it. I mean, I actually plan at the moment to open up another London service company, a family-run one. I have a 3-year clause that we not to open up until that 3 years, 18 months into it, and we're certainly planning it. We've just taken over 10,000 square foot building in Lambeth, and going to plan it so it's going to be a really dynamic company and get back to running a big family business.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you can go into about what that company is, because obviously it's not even launched yet. But thinking about that 3-year clause where you couldn't start something, was that frustrating? I mean, when you sold the company, did you think, it's going to be fine, I'm not going to do this again? How soon after you
well,
put
to
it...
be perfectly honest, at the time, when we completed the sale in October 2021, I had no intention of ever opening again. You know, I've got enough money to, live a wonderful life, and so has my family. But, I've noticed that the London is missing this lovely family-run business that we used to have. And, it's 41 years of my life, and many members of my family was involved with it. And, they've said to me that, that they really fancy it because, picked up a lot of knowledge in all them years of it. And I would hate it to go a waste. And, I'm certainly not doing it for the money, but certainly, I have, quite a few grandchildren and 4 children and their families. And I feel that I've got quite a lot to offer again. When you start a business from literally back of a van and then sell it for in excess of 140 mil, you learn a lot. And certainly we had it right, that was for sure. And I just feel that it was very much a family business. And as much as I think it was my best decision in business, it was also my worst decision selling it. I would have loved to have handed it down and the family members still to run it. So I feel like I've let down customers, I've let down a lot of staff, and, I'm getting a lot of sort of attention now from people saying, we really could do with this family business kind of thing out there again.
So if you had that kind of weird time warp thing where you now can go right back to the very beginning of Pimlico Plumbers and there's young Charlie sitting there, what's the advice you give to him?
Well, when you start a business and running it, there's plenty of sleepless nights. There's plenty of where we're going to get the money, where we're going to pay the bills from. There's many ups and downs, and I think you've got to go through them to get to success. But believe me, when you do get there, there's nothing like it. And we was turning over 50 mil, 450 people on board, 270 odd vans on the road, most recognisable plumbing company in the world, and making good profits. And we had, I think, 1,500 apprentices went through our books over the years, and that was a great sort of value to me because, that's how I started. And I want to, be able to offer apprentices that type of position again because apprentices have gone back over the years because government are not concentrating on it. And I feel it's something that's still in me that I can do. Obviously, I don't want to be working all day and every day, and I want to enjoy what I've got. But many members of the family had been there many years, and we didn't realise how right we had it until we come away from it. Yeah,
It helps to get a bit of perspective, to step back
That's
and
exactly
then look
it,
at
yeah.
what you've done. Is there one thing you would go, right, this is going to happen, don't do that? Was it like a big mistake?
What, in the
early on?
business?
Yeah, right there, right at the very early on. Right, Charlie, this thing's going to happen. You're going to do this, and just don't.
Oh, I mean, so many ups and downs in businesses, and I think the biggest mistake we made over the years was where we used to give many customers accounts and credit, and that was the thing that nearly sent us bust. So in the late 80s, early 90s, we had no cash flow, we had overdrafts, we had loans from the bank, and we had quite a lot of customers owed us lots of money. Then the recession came, and things were very, very difficult. We went in to see 2 liquidators. First one said, "You've got no money, wrap it up." Second one said, "You're going to lose your house, you're going to lose your business, you might as well fight for it." So we decided to fight for it. But we immediately changed our policy to payment on completion. That was the point that, got us through it. And you find that many businesses that go bust, it's because somebody owes them money. It's not necessarily they're doing anything wrong, but they can't get the money in. And cash flow is the most important thing. And the other mistake I made, I was quite adventurous. So I bought a building that was going to turn into our head office in Lambeth, and I bought it. Well, I thought it was at the right time, but evidently there was a recession just around the corner, and the bank lent us loads of dosh for it, and then they weren't happy with the equity of it, and they wanted to call the loan in. So the other mistake I made was, don't trust banks, basically. I mean, they're crooks in suits. They'll lend you an umbrella as long as it's not raining.
To the ads. For more info on the SME Expo and to register for free tickets, head along to smexpo.co.uk. Charlie, you want to run for Mayor of London? Why? Why is the big question?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel that being I sort of come from London, I live in London, I work in London, I spend all my time in London, I spend all my money in London, I understand London, and I understand what it needs to get London moving again. I think a businessman would be good as London Mayor. And, so I'll be chucking my hat in the ring there, and, I feel quite confident of getting a lot of people behind me. The black taxi trade, they need a lot of help of being able to move around. And I'm not a lover of the bike lanes, and, they're empty 20 hours a day, and, they've turned 2 lanes into 1. It's just not right. And you need to get London moving, not just with traffic, but with businesses. And, I'd come in with an apprenticeship scheme where all apprentices have free London transport travel, because a lot of people can't take a job because the fares are too expensive. So you've got to start looking after youngsters from school level and get them in the workplace. And, I have to say, most youngsters get in trouble. They'll often say, I don't have a job, I've got nothing to do. So it's so important to get people into it. I think it's a game changer when a youngster gets a job.
Yeah.
And I feel I just feel that understanding that and coming from London, I think it needs someone with a business experience and a common sense approach.
But you were talking earlier about, the importance of experience in work and in doing a job. You don't have much experience in the political field. Could you work with the politicians inside City Hall? Do you have... because what I'm saying is you don't have much experience of that political world of negotiation.
But over the years, I've got involved in politics and, had many, many debates with many politicians. And the difference with many politicians is they haven't run a business. So, I'm 1-0 up on them. And, they've got all the brains in the world, but, they don't necessarily understand how a business operates, or a lot of people in the real world. And, I think I got quite involved with politics over the years. I just feel that, it needs working class people in politics. That's exactly what it needs. It needs people that understand money and understand what it's like. I'm not a great believer in all these strikes, and you need to be able to sit down and negotiate around the table. But it needs more working class people in politics. There's no two ways about that.
That was Charlie Mullins. How to Be a CEO is back on Monday morning. Hit your follow button so you never miss any of our shows. And we have some great ones coming up. And go to standard.co.uk/business every day for the latest news, interviews and analysis.